Welcome, everyone, to How to Speak Fluent English. We're doing another podcast today, and this one is specifically for you, our listeners learning English.
That's right. We're tackling something super practical.
Yeah, common mistakes.
And not just beginner mistakes, right? These are things even native speakers get wrong sometimes.
Absolutely. And understanding these little nuances can really help you speak more accurately, more fluently.
So, we've picked out 10 common areas. We'll explain each one, give you the reasons behind the confusion, and lots of examples.
Yep, plenty of examples you can actually use in daily conversation.
By the end, you should have a much clearer grasp of these tricky spots.
Okay, let's jump right in.
Mistake number 1, less versus fewer.
First up, less versus fewer.
This is very common.
They both mean a smaller amount, but you use them differently, right? So basically, you use less for things you generally don't count individually.
Uncountable nouns, we call them, like sand, water, or information.
Exactly, things you measure as a whole quantity.
And fewer.
Fewer is for the things you can count.
Countable nouns, like individual items. Yeah, books, chairs, people, mistakes.
Yeah, if you can put a number before it, 1 mistake, 2 mistakes, then you use fewer when talking about a smaller number of them.
Good. So the examples often given are like, I made fewer mistakes on this test. Mistakes are countable, right? Or, I have less time this week. Time, in that general sense, isn't counted in individual units.
All right, let's give you some fresh examples for everyday use. How about fewer?
Maybe talking about shopping.
Good one. I need to buy fewer snacks at the supermarket to eat healthier. Snacks are countable.
Or about people. There were fewer students in class today because of the holiday. You can count students.
And maybe about screen time. She spends fewer hours watching television now that she has a new hobby. Now, where's our countable units here?
Perfect. Now for less. Think about cooking.
Okay, we need less sugar in this recipe. You're already very sweet. Sugar as an ingredient quantity is uncountable.
Or feelings. He felt less stress after he started exercising regularly. Stress isn't something you count one by one, right?
And maybe about preparation time. They had less time to prepare for the presentation than they expected. Time, again, is a general amount.
So, countable things? Yeah, fewer. Uncountable things? Less. Got it? That's the core idea.
Okay, number 2. Another pair that sounds the same, your and your. Y-O-R versus Y-O-U apostrophe R-E.
Oh yeah, this one pops up all the time in writing, especially texts and emails, because they sound identical.
Exactly. So your, Y-O-R, shows possession. Something belongs to you. Your phone, your idea, possessive.
And your, with the apostrophe, is short for you are, the contraction.
Like, you're doing great, or you're listening to this podcast. Perfect.
That little apostrophe's doing a lot of work there, isn't he?
He really is. It changes the whole meaning. So you might say, your performance was really great. That's Y-O-U-R, possessive, right? Or, my parents think you're great, meaning you are great.
Okay, let's give you some more daily examples for your, Y-O-U-R, possessive. How about, is this your umbrella? It looks like mine. Asking about ownership. Or, your idea for the project is very creative. The idea belongs to them. Or, don't forget to bring your books to the study group. Their books.
Okay, now for your, the contraction, you are. Like recommending something. You're going to love this new restaurant. The food is amazing. You are going to love it. Or agreeing. I think you're right about the best way to solve this problem. You are right. And an invitation. You're welcome to join us for the picnic this weekend. You are welcome.
That little apostrophe is doing a lot of work there, isn't he?
He really is. It changes the whole meaning. So you might say, your performance was really great. That's Y-O-U-R, possessive, right? Or, my parents think you're great, meaning you are great.
Okay, moving on to number 3. A tricky trio this time. There, and there.
Ah, yes, the 3 homophones. Sound the same, spell differently, mean different things. Causes endless confusion.
It really does. Let's break them down.
There, T-H-E-R-E, usually points to a place, there. Or it can introduce something like, there is a problem, or there are solutions. Kind of shows existence, right?
Then there, T-H-E-I-R. That's the possessive one for they. Something belongs to them, like their car, their opinion, their house.
Exactly.
And there, T-H-E-E-Y''-R-E. What's that one?
That's the contraction again, short for they are. Like, they're happy, or they're leaving soon.
The classic sentence to remember them is something like, they're over there in their car.
That's a great one. They're over in that place, in the car belonging to them. Exactly.
Okay, let's give you some new examples for each, starting with there, place or existence. The keys are over there on the kitchen counter, location. Or, is there a post office near here? Asking if one exists. Or, I used to live there when I was a child, referring back to a place.
Okay, now there, T-H-E-I-R, possessive. Their house has a beautiful garden in the back. The house belongs to them. The students are working together on their group project. The project belongs to the students. Or, my neighbors are having a party at their place tonight. Their place.
And lastly, there, T-H-E-Y''-R-E. They are. They're planning a trip to Europe next summer. They are planning. Or, I think they're going to announce the decision tomorrow. They are going to announce. Or, they're always very friendly and helpful. They are always friendly and helpful.
Again, if they are fits, use there. That apostrophe is key.
Seems like apostrophes are causing a lot of these issues. Which brings us to number 4, its versus its. Another apostrophe culprit, very similar logic to your/your.
Right, so it's, I-T apostrophe S, is the contraction. It stands for it is or it has. Like, it's cold today, meaning it is cold, or it's been a long week, meaning it has been.
Okay, and its, I-T-S, no apostrophe, is the possessive form for it, like his or her, but for a thing or an animal.
Exactly. You wouldn't write H-I-S with an apostrophe for possessive. Same logic applies to its. So the dog wagged its tail. The tail belongs to the dog.
That's a really helpful comparison. So the example might be, I saw Star Wars. It's a really cool movie. Its effects are awesome.
Perfect. It is a cool movie. The effects belonging to it are awesome. Let's do some new daily examples.
First, it's, meaning it is or it has. It's raining heavily outside, so don't forget your umbrella. It is raining. It's been a long day, and I'm feeling quite tired. It has been a long day. It's important to practice English every day if you want to improve quickly. It is important.
Okay, now it's possessive, no apostrophe. The cat chased its own tail in circles. The tail belongs to the tat. The company is known for its innovative products. The products belong to the company. The old house had lost much of its original charm. The charm belonged to the house.
So remember, contraction, apostrophe, its, possession, no apostrophe, its. Got it? Okay, number 5 is a pronunciation one. Nuclear.
Ah, yes. N-U-C-L-E-A-R.
The correct way is N-U-C-L-E-R. 3 syllables. Clear L sound in the middle. You often hear it N-U-C-U-L-A-R.
Yeah, it's a really common mispronunciation, even among very prominent native speakers sometimes. It's strange, isn't it, why that happens?
it might be something called metathesis, where sounds get swapped, or maybe just assimilation makes it feel easier to say for some. But technically, nuclear is incorrect. It should be nuclear, right?
So let's practice it correctly in some sentences you might use. The debate about nuclear energy continues to be important.
Nuclear.
Scientists are researching nuclear fusion as a potential clean energy source.
Yeah, nuclear. The museum had an interesting exhibit about the history of nuclear weapons.
Nuclear. So really focus on that clear part. Just practicing nuclear slowly a few times, you'll get the hang of it.
Okay, number 6. This one's about could have versus the incorrect could of.
Right. This is purely a sound thing leading to a writing error. Could have is the correct phrase.
Right. So, could have is the correct phrase. When we speak, we often contract could have to could have.
Exactly. And could have sounds almost identical to could have, so people mistakenly write could of.
But could of makes no grammatical sense. Of is a preposition. It doesn't work there. It has to be the verb have, correct?
Think of should have, would have. They all contract should have, would have. The base is always have.
So writing could have, should have, would have is always wrong, okay? So examples like, I could have come to the party. That's short for could have come. Or I could have explained better. That's the full form, never could of.
Let's give you some new examples. Maybe one with the full form. She could have won the race if she hadn't fallen.
Could have won.
And one with a contraction. We could have gone to the beach yesterday, but the weather was bad.
Could have gone, short for could have run. And another full one, he could have asked for help if he was struggling with the assignment.
Could have asked. So train your ear to hear could have, but train your hand to write could have or could have. Never could have. Number 7, effect versus affect. E versus A.
The classic noun-verb confusion. Generally speaking, and this covers most situations, most common uses, you have
Effect with an E is usually a noun. It means a result, an outcome, an influence.
okay, E for effect, E for end result. Nice, mnemonic.
And affect with an A is usually a verb. It means to influence, to impact, to produce a change in something.
A for affect, A for action. Verb. Perfect.
So the drug had a strong effect. Effect is the noun, the result. The drug affected my body. Affected is the verb. It did something to my body.
Exactly. Now, there are some less common uses, like affect as a verb, meaning to bring about. But let's stick to the main distinction for now, as it covers like 95% of cases.
Okay, good point. Let's give you some new examples.
Effect as a noun, the result. The new law will have a significant effect on the economy. Effect is the noun result here. The loud music had a negative effect on my concentration. The effect was negative. What is the desired effect of this new marketing campaign? Asking about the intended result.
Okay, now affect as a verb, to influence or impact. The weather will likely affect our travel plans. Affect is the verb meaning influence. How did the news affect your decision? How did it influence your decision? Don't let criticism affect your confidence. Don't let it influence your confidence.
So thinking action equals affect, verb, and end result equals effect, noun, really helps.
That's a great way to remember the common usage.
Mistake 8, theirs plus plural.
So there's is short for there is, singular. Grammatically, it should be followed by a singular noun. There's a cat.
But you hear people say things like, there's lots of people here all the time.
All the time. In casual spoken English, it's extremely common. It sort of functions like a fixed phrase almost.
But if you're aiming for more grammatical accuracy, especially in writing, then you should match the verb to the noun. If the noun is plural, like people or reasons or cookies, you should technically use there are.
So the correct form of there's a lot of people is there are a lot of people.
Yes, and instead of there's a lot of cookies, it should be there are a lot of cookies. Let's look at some more examples you might use, showing the common error and the correction.
Okay. Incorrect, but common. There's many reasons why I'm learning English. Correct is there are many reasons why I'm learning English, because reasons is plural. Incorrect, there's several options to choose from. Correct is there are several options to choose from, because options is plural. Incorrect, there's a few things I need to do today. Correct is there are a few things I need to do today, because things is plural.
So while you'll definitely hear theirs with plurals, for your own careful speech and especially writing, try to use there are with plural nouns.
That's a great distinction between casual speech and more formal correctness.
Mistake 9, vague pronouns. This is all about clarity.
Pronouns like he, she, it, they, him, her, them are great shortcuts, but only if it's crystal clear who or what they refer back to, right?
Right. If you have a sentence like, he gave the book to her after you finished reading it, it can get confusing. Is the second he the same person as the first he? Who is her? What is it exactly?
Too many pronouns without clear antecedents, the nouns they replace, creates ambiguity.
So the solution is often just to use the actual noun sometimes, even if it feels a bit repetitive.
Clarity is more important, definitely.
So instead of that vague sentence, you could say, Mike gave Mary the book after he, Mike, finished reading it. Or Mike gave her the book after Gary finished it. You specify who did what.
Okay, let's look at some other vague examples and how to make them clearer for you. Okay, vague, she told her that she couldn't come because she was sick. Who is she in each case? Confusing. Clearer, Sarah told Jessica that Jessica couldn't come because Sarah was sick. Or maybe Sarah told Jessica that Sarah couldn't come because Sarah was sick. Need to be explicit. Vague, they went to the park and then they bought ice cream. Same they, different day. Clearer, the children went to the park and then their parents bought them ice cream. Identifies the second they. Vague, he asked him if he had seen the movie. Who asked whom about whom? Clearer, John asked Michael if David had seen the movie. Using names makes it unambiguous.
So the takeaway is, always double check your pronouns. Ask yourself, is it perfectly clear who or what this pronoun refers to? If not, revise.
Excellent advice.
And finally, number 10, faulty parallelism.
Sounds technical, but the idea is simple.
It is.
List items equals the same grammatical form. It just means that items in a list should have the same grammatical form or structure. It makes the sentence flow better and sound more balanced.
Right. If you're listing activities you like, they should all be in the same format. So, incorrect would be, I like cooking and reading and to watch a movie.
See? Cooking and reading are ing forms, gerunds, but to watch is an infinitive. It breaks the pattern. So the correct parallel version is, I like cooking, reading, and watching movies. All ing forms. Much smoother.
Let's give you some more examples of fixing faulty parallelism. Incorrect. My hobbies are playing the guitar, to read novels, and painting landscapes. Playing, infinitive, painting. Correct. My hobbies are playing the guitar, reading novels, and painting landscapes. All ing forms. Now, parallel.
Incorrect. The job requires strong communication skills, ability to work in a team, and you must be detail-oriented. Noun phrases with a clause. Correct. The job requires strong communication skills, teamwork ability, and attention to detail. All noun-based phrases. Parallel structure.
Incorrect. She enjoys hiking in the mountains, to swim in the ocean, and exploring new cities. An ing an infinitive, and another ing. Correct. She enjoys hiking in the mountains, swimming in the ocean, and exploring new cities. All ing forms again.
So when you list things, just check they're in the same grammatical format. It really improves your writing.
Okay, wow, that was a lot, but really useful stuff.
So just to recap quickly, we covered less versus fewer, your versus your, their, their, its versus its, the pronunciation of nuclear, using could have, not could of, effect versus affect, using there are with plurals instead of theirs, making sure your pronouns are clear, and keeping lists parallel.
Whew, yeah, quite a list. But seriously, getting a handle on these, even though native speakers slip up, will make a huge difference to your English. It really will. It makes your communication clearer, more accurate, and it just sounds more polished.
Definitely. So we really encourage you to maybe listen again, focus on the examples, and consciously try to use the correct forms in your own speaking and writing. Practice is key.
Notice these things when you read and listen too, absolutely.
And maybe ask yourself now you're aware of these, what other little things do you notice? What other patterns might be confusing?
Yeah, keep that curiosity going, keep listening, keep learning. You really are on the path to fluent English.